So, my second guest of the show, she just arrived. Hello, Jamie. We're going to have you in just a second. Now, as you know, Yured will guess and make up a tune to the intro as our guest walks in. So it's Jamie Haerewa, but her intro is this. This is a conversation you don't want to miss. In this one, you're going to challenge the way you think about remote work and find out exactly how remote work can work or not. Give it up for Jamie! Jamie, welcome. Come in, have a seat.
Hey, how are you doing?
All right. Pretty good.
Is this old water or did you get a new one?
New one?
I think it's old.
Jamie, what do you make of this?
Amazing.
It's cool, right?
Yes.
It's cool. We got the great audience here. They want to hear from you. So, we're going to touch on a topic which I seeded, I think. We had a little prep chat, and, I wanted to kick things off really with, remote work. Where are you currently based? Where are you working out of at the moment? Where's home?
Yeah, so remote working has been pretty much my entire career. But right now, I'm in Lisbon, Portugal, and I have a fellow Lisbonian in the room.
I lived in Lisbon. I'll be living there this summer. Anyone from Lisbon here? Living there, remote working? Great place. Go check it out. We should have a little Visit Lisbon thing underneath this.
Yeah, we should.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But tell us a little bit about your business. I mean, you have a background in sort of the corporate world within HR, kind of employee compliance. Anyone working in HR here? Give us a wave. Oh, it was a very slow arm lift. Sort of like, oh, well, you're going to be proud of that, and you're going to be prouder when you hear about what Jamie's up to. Tell us.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, me and my co-founder started Agile Haerewa about 4.5 years ago. The idea actually came from identifying a challenge in the market with how do we help businesses expand without having to set up entities. And after living in Asia for 7 years, which is quite a long time. If anyone's lived in Asia before, usually you get to the 3-year mark and you need to leave. So yeah, we decided let's set up in Asia. We know the landscape really well when it comes to compliance and regulations. And yeah, that's where we started Agile. That's where it was born.
And the problem you're solving is about remote work, helping businesses manage that kind of entire thing. What's sort of the problem statement that maybe someone who is in this room could potentially benefit from?
So when it comes to startup businesses, you want to expand, but you want to keep your costs low. So looking at hiring maybe developers in countries where it's lower cost for talent. So that's where we really help by enabling that employment for them.
Okay.
Payrolling, make sure that you stay compliant with local regulations within these countries, but you don't have to have the overheads and the burdens of actually going and setting up in China, running that as your business. So we do all of that.
And the typical kind of challenges and issues you see, what are sort of so any business in here comes to you and says, listen, we're going to onboard onto the platform, and what are the typical sort of issues you see? Or
the biggest issue I see is around employment law. So because it's
tax, where you pay that, insurance.
Tax-wise, but also if an employee is not working out, how do you manage that termination? No. So how do you manage that termination process when you're not familiar with the countries that you're entering in?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I've lived in Lisbon. I live in Oslo currently. I'm South African, but I grew up in the UK. And when I was nomading for 2 years in 2020 to 2022, when I sold my business in 2020, one of the winners of COVID, but you can't talk about that publicly. I was trying different places, and the biggest issue I hit as a nomad was insurance. My insurance covers me traveling for 10 weeks or something like that, and then you have to go back to the home country where you were, and then moving on and things like that. So do you also work with individuals, or is it mostly just companies and employing and things of that nature?
Interestingly, we predominantly B2B, but what we've seen is a huge shift with the digital nomad community and people that want to work remotely. So they'll, approach their bosses. They want to move to Lisbon, for instance. A lot of people from the UK want to move to Portugal.
Yeah.
We can understand why. Mainly driven by the weather. So what we've seen is that digital nomads or remote workers tend to pull us and introduce us to their companies, being like, hey, I found a solution that allows me to stay here. It's compliant. You're being compliant. So then, the employee can live wherever they want. The UK company has, or wherever company, has a compliant way of executing that.
Are there any myths that we need to dispel about remote work? Because I think, post-COVID, everyone was like, remote work's the future. And then slowly, give us a wave. Let's do a little litmus test in here. Give us a wave at the top, all around here, left and right. Are you a remote work first employee or company? Remote work first. So you kind of, wow, okay, interesting. Are the other people unemployed or do you have jobs? But that's actually interesting, right?
Yeah.
I've felt there's been a bit of a pullback, right? And personally, when remote working myself, I felt the need to be around people working, right? Chris and I actually have never met. That was a real video, completely not made up at all, of our first meet. I did kiss him on the head. It's softer than a baby's bottom, which I haven't kissed. I wouldn't, yeah.
You want to try somebody? There's makeup on there now, so
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to do it.
So we actually built Agile completely remote. We started the business in 2019. I was living in Germany. I thought after Shanghai, why not? I'll go for the quiet life. Didn't last very long. So yeah, my co-founder was in Singapore. I was in Germany. So we started completely remote.
Yeah.
And
I have a question.
Go
Why
for
did
it.
you leave Germany? It's the most beautiful country in the world, the kindest people, the most beautiful language. Why are you now in Lisbon?
it wasn't my vibe.
Do you have any Adidas? No, that's probably why.
Where in Germany?
Munich.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. Okay, got it. Don't talk about it anymore.
Beautiful city.
Should have tried Berlin. You would still be there. You would never like Sun is overrated in my opinion. Berlin is a
I don't
great
think
place.
so. I like being a little bit tan.
I'm a skier, so yeah.
You can still get tan. Yeah, so we started the company completely remote.
Yeah.
I remember when we hired our first employee, she was based in Singapore.
And full-time employee? Or are we talking freelancers mostly?
Full-time
or full-time?
employee.
Okay.
And the first time I met her, the company was 3 years old. I flew out to Singapore as soon as it opened. And that was like an amazing moment.
Yeah.
And actually today I have my growth marketing manager in the back there.
Diana?
Yes.
Hey, give Diana a round of applause. She's here.
Yana is actually based in Ukraine,
Yeah.
and we met for the first time yesterday.
Yes, you
She's
did.
been with me for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
One of the best hires I've ever made. So, yeah.
Did you make a totally serious video out of that moment of first meeting her?
No, we took
We
some
could
cute
have
selfies.
given you some
though.
tips.
Because we did. Play the video. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't. We did actually think about doing that, but we didn't want to ruin your first of meeting physical moment.
No, fair enough. But what I wanted to say is that building a company remotely is possible, but I don't want to take away how important it is to meet your team in person.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take away the in-person interaction. It's so important for your company culture.
So let's take that in two parts. What's the hardest thing about building a remote work first business? And then secondly, how are you building that culture in a let's not meet ever or very rarely business?
I think the time zones was the hardest thing.
Interesting, yeah.
So when I started building the company, predominantly all of our clients were based in Asia and I was in Germany. So I started working at like 3:30, 4 a.m. Just to be on Asia time to work with our clients based there.
Is it difficult to sell your service to I find that in Norway where I'm based, right, you can validate this, Jørgen, right? It's easier to do business in Norway if you're a Norwegian business. You'd agree with me, right? It is. And it depends where you are in the world because we have biases. There are cultural differences. Do you find that one market is the best to be based in when you're selling internationally? And what is that?
Yeah, Asia is definitely more of a face-to-face market.
Yeah.
They really value the face-to-face culture, and it was probably one of the biggest challenges. But when we built the company, so we are 100% bootstrapped. Me and my co-founder, we own the company ourselves. We haven't raised yet. I say
Are you
yet.
looking to raise?
Who knows what might happen? So when we first built the company, it was important to us to go to our network. So that kind of eased the pain of the challenge of trying to acquire new clients without them knowing us.
Yeah.
So they already knew us, which was a benefit. But yeah, still having face-to-face. And I remember the first time that, again, I flew to Singapore, I met our clients. They were like, oh, thank God. Now are you staying here? Yeah, so it was really cool.
And then again, face-to-face, right? Chris and
Yeah.
I just met the first time. We've been trying to do some stuff together for years. And, definitely without the face-to-face, the same city thing, it's been...
Matt, I don't want to ruin your story, but we actually met before. Matt just doesn't remember. And this is a completely true story that we met at Tech Barbecue like 7 years ago. Somebody introduced me to Matt. We shook hands and he immediately left. It was not 10 seconds until he left because he had to shoot a video or something. So we have met, but he has no recollection. And I only know because the person told me he has a book out, which I bought afterwards. So I remember he doesn't.
This is not our therapy time. That's
No? Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay.
tomorrow.
We'll do that tomorrow.
We don't do that as publicly. There's a small audience, 150 or so.
Oh, okay.
Face to face, Jamie. How are you kind of building that culture? You just met Jana right now, yesterday. How's it been? Amazing. What are you sort of implementing in your business to maintain some form of connection with everyone outside of, hey, it's me again in a cafe, in a bar, in a different place that I'm not?
Collaboration. So getting the teams to work together that maybe don't work together normally. So operations, HR, payroll, finance. Getting them to work on different projects and allocating the team members to work together on it. We do town halls as well. I think
So like getting everyone together and
getting everyone together.
Yeah.
It's not just updating each other on what they're doing day to day in the workplace. Like, let's hear about what you've been doing
Personal
in your life.
Yeah.
Exactly. And on Mondays, we talk about the weekend, what's the most exciting thing that's happened. So, yeah.
So creating a structure around that. And I'm in a business, again, I'm bigging up Norway here, Joran, right? There's a startup in Norway called Superside. You probably know of it, maybe. It's sort of the ability to sort of hire people doing sort of freelance design and things for you. 400-500 employee base, all remote work first, built remote work originally, and they have created these really sort of get-togethers every month or two. They would say, we're all meeting. If anyone meets and wants to meet, the company will pay for dinner, maybe for a rent a house for as many people to stay together who are willing to travel in there. Maybe they pay for flights as well. So I think that's a way to do it, right? Getting people together.
Exactly.
Where you can, when you can, opt in, opt out, and I think that's a good way to do it, at least in the experience that I've had.
Yeah, our Singapore team meets at least every Friday. So they work remotely away from each other 4 days a week, and then they get together on a Friday, which is pretty cool.
So we thought we'd have some fun with you, Jamie, because we know you're awesome. You're a cool girl,
Okay.
great company.
You want to run away? Do it now.
Yeah, so we also raced Jana. No, we didn't do that. Let's go, Jana, go. So we're going to play a little game, everyone. This game is called Guess the Nomad Hub, and you're going to play against Chris. Jurad, give us a little intro song. Intro song to the game.
Which one do you want? Gray or... I wanted that. Yeah, you want it?
Matches your outfit.
You want
I don't
it?
have this one. Matches my outfit.
All right, so the game is this. Guess the Nomad Hub. I'm going to read out 2 true facts about the Nomad Hub that make it a great place to visit, to live in, remote work first, friendly. And I'm also going to read out a fun fact about it, which is genuinely true. They're all true facts. And you have to guess the hub. And when we're thinking hubs, we're thinking the top 10. We're thinking the Tallins, the Balis, the Cape Towns, the Lisbons, the usual places, the Singapores, the ones that you've lived in, the ones that you've never, ever visited and probably never will. And that's your problem, not ours. So the first one is this. They have a social cultural visa called the B211, which allows you an initial 60-day stay, which can be extended 4 times for 30 days each, totaling 180 days. Now, they also have another visa called the Kitas. But the most funny fact about this place is you are 10% of all visitors have their possessions every single year stolen by monkeys. True fact. 10% of nomads and remote workers there. True statistic done. So on the count of 3, you got to guess the nomad
You
hub.
wrote something? I had to...
Chris, go. You got 5,
Monkeys.
4, 3, 2, 1. And reveal. Bali, Indonesia, and no result. Give it up for Jamie. She got it right.
You got it right? Yeah. Wow. Damn. Too much pressure.
All right,
I had
so-
something, then you said the monkey thing, and I was like, there's no monkey.
I've also realized I've been holding my iPad like
In
this,
Middle-earth.
so maybe I should do this a bit more. Okay, all right. Second question. Here we go. This nomad hub has a visa-free regime, allowing citizens from many countries, I'll do it, many countries in the world to stay up to 1 year without needing a visa. And they have a freelance visa, which is much of the same. But fun fact, 5% of all tourists end up invited to a random wedding every single year when they stay in this place. A random wedding. So you got 10 9.
Dude, too much pressure. Give us a second. Let them play and give us a second.
All right, Yoda, give us a little tune in between.
Wedding.
Random weddings. Friendly people. Maybe it's Thailand. Maybe it's Georgia. Maybe it's Cape Town, South Africa, where I was not born, but I'm from. Maybe it's Oslo. Yoda, what do you think? No, it's probably not Oslo, is it? All right, well, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bulgaria and Spain.
Dude, you
Spain
need
isn't a city.
Bengaluru.
Bengaluru. Where's that?
In India.
The correct answer is Tbilisi. Was it Tbilisi, Georgia? Give it up for Tbilisi. Okay, almost. 2 more. Just two more. So, the next one is they have an e-residency program, not a visa, but allows digital entrepreneurs to establish and manage EU-based businesses online. They have a digital nomad visa, which allows remote workers to stay in the country's name, almost gave that one away, for up to 1 year with a possible extension. Interestingly, 8% of visitors get locked in the old town every year because they get lost in the maze of streets and walls, and they have to be rescued at night by the gardeners and cleaners and the garbage men.
Hope that's not us.
That's a funny one. All right, so gents, you're ready to play us a little tune while they guess for 10 seconds?
I think we got it.
You got it? Oh, split and play. One, two, three, go! Estonia, beautiful. They're both right. Give it up for both of them. Chris, Jamie.
What's the score? Can I still win?
That is correct.
Everything right? No, you got the Spain. Spain was wrong.
It is Estonia. That is correct. So, last
How are
one.
you wiping the thing?
Last one.
And?
With your finger? This is, I actually I did it the first 3 times, but there's a little sponge thing here.
All right, final. Here we go. Last one. Feel free, audience, to have a guess too. Finally, migrant visa for entrepreneurs this place has. It's valid for 3 years, and for those starting or investing in a business in this country, almost gave the name out again, they have a digital nomad visa, which has recently been introduced, which lasts for 2 years. But interestingly, 12% of tourists seek medical support for addiction to coffee-induced jitters and illness for overdosing on caffeine and coffee every single year. True fact.
Coffee.
GPT wouldn't lie, you know? Yurid, 10 seconds, please.
I'm not winning this one. What's the score?
I think who's winning? Is Jamie winning by
Jamie
Yeah,
is
I'm
2-1,
2-1.
right? 2-1.
2-1.
gonna
Because
get
you both
this.
got a point for that
No,
one.
but I'm-
So this is
never mind.
this is the equalizer, okay? 1, 2, 3, go! Brazil and
was
Portugal.
over Brazil.
Well, actually, I'm going to give it to Chris because he's close enough. It's Medellin, Colombia!
Oh.
Give it up for Medellin.
Oh, we got a tiebreaker. I'm on a winning streak. I beat the robot in racing. Now I want to beat Jamie. Let's do a tiebreaker.
All right, let's do this. Should we do a decider?
Yeah.
I don't have another one, but
No, do one where we guess a number.
guess the... Okay, no. Let's move on.
You think of a number and we write it down.
Yeah, let's do that. So, Jamie, well done. Well done. Congratulations. You're
Thank
the
you.
winner here.
I'm
good play.
also the winner. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank
yep,
you.
of course.
Thanks for
Yep,
playing.
fantastic.
You were pretty good, but you couldn't beat me, obviously.
To round things off, Jamie, you know, this is a great platform. We have a great audience watching online. We have friends in the audience here. How can we use this as a platform to support you, your business? Or how can you support everyone here? What would be your final words to leave a message with everyone today?
Yeah, if anyone wants to know more about my journey or how to expand or grow your company beyond borders, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Would be happy to have a chat.
Jamie, Agile Hero, that's the one. Give it up for Jamie, everyone! Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. I'll see you in the summer. I'll be there for 6 weeks. Heaven. I love it. I used to live there. It's heaven.